They say I might as well face the truth, but I am just too long in the tooth. So I'm an OAP and weak need, but I'm not yet quite gone to seed. I may be over the hill now that I have retired, fading away, but I'm not yet expired. Clapped out, run down, too old to save, 1 foot in the grave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Richard Wilson.
Wonderful sound. I don't think I'm going to experience anything like this again. Do you mind if I do it again? Do you mind So once I disappear, start applauding again. Wasn't quite so good. But it was lovely. Welcome to an evening with Richard Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. It's wonderful. It's quite humbling to see so many people. When I put this idea to Claire Murray, our head of fundraising, I thought it was going to be in the studio. Honestly, I did. And then Daniel Evans said something like, "We've taken the curtains away." What's he talking about? Because in here, sometimes, if it's a smallish house, we put a curtain in. And then I heard Claire Murray saying to someone, "We've got 500 in now." I thought, we'll never get 500 in the studio. I mean, it was absolutely stupid, because we wouldn't have made any money. And this, of course, is a fundraising event for Sheffield Theatres, because we need extra funding to run the theatres. Just out of interest, how many people here are in the Crucible for the first time? Can you just put your, oh, very good, very good. Because we are very keen to expand our audience and bring in new people. But I'll mention the people, the first timers, a little bit later on when we're talking about fundraising. I'm just going to check my bullet points. The good thing about bullet points is that if it's going badly, you can use them to shoot yourself. Yes. So, yes. So the shape of this evening is this. I'm going to do an extract from Victor Meldrew. It's about 20 to 25 minutes of an episode called The Trial. And when we did it in the studios, I used to come out before the show and talk to the audience, as I'm doing now, and sort of get to know them. So, in order to get to know you, we're going to start here at the back. And if you just stand up, say your name. Say your name, your sexual predilection. And then I'll say hello, and we'll go around here. And then we'll come back and go, no, we weren't doing that. But I used to come out in front of the audience and have a chat, because just to relax me as much as them. And I was going to start the show tonight with the extract. And I thought, no, that's too scary. So we're going to run it like a television show. So if I if I leave out 5 pages, for example, Daniel Evans, who's directing the piece, will come on and say, Richard, you've just left out 5 pages, silly bugger. I will go back. Now this is an out for me, so I could make as many mistakes as I want, and Daniel will come on. When we used to have to repeat things in the studio, the audience rather enjoyed it, and usually they laughed more the second time. No, that's true. So, I'm exhausted already. It's a very emotional opening. I think that's about it. So, the shape of the evening. So we do the extract, and then I go off to get changed. No, I don't. No, I come back on to tell you a little bit about the history of that episode and talk about how we did it here. Wonderful set, you'll agree. I can't remember the designer's name. Easily forgotten. So I'm going to come back on and just talk about the genesis of this show, and then I'm going to go off and get changed, and then we're going to show you some clips of favourite episodes, and then there's an interval, because we're very greedy and we need the profits from the bar to bolster our funds. And I'm going to have a drink in the interval as well, so I'm not sure how I'll be doing for part 2. Yes, I'm going off now. I'm going off now to get dressed. Obviously, this is Victor, but I'm going off to put my hat on.
Run down, too old to say, 1 foot in the grave.
Switchboard operators say they're going to put you through and they'll just leave you here to rot to death. And they speak to you as though you're some kind of insect into the bargain. Have I been cut off yet? Hello! Hello! I don't know if you remember me. I'm Victor Meldrew, the talking cockroach. It's Mr. Meldrew. I'm one of your jurors this week on jury service, and I was just wondering if I'd be needed tomorrow or... Ah. Right. Okay. Thank you. 5 days on the trot. Haven't set foot inside a courtroom. You can't do anything when you're on call. You can't plan anything. You can't organize anything. It gives you the wills. And I expect you're going to keep this rain up all day now, are you? Just to make things even worse. I swear there's someone up there watching. Oh yes, I could just see Meldrew unwinding the cord of his lawnmower. Let's piss it down. 101 jobs to do outside, and I'm stuck in here like the prisoner of Zenda. Can't stand the sight of that wallpaper. I wish I'd never chosen it. Oh, where's that new Jeffrey Archer book I started reading this morning? Ah. But that's killed 10 seconds. Unfortunately, not Jeffrey Archer. I wonder if I picked this scab, it would start bleeding. It's all dried up like a Kellogg's bran flake. Leave it, it'll come off on its own. Let it take its course. What makes you yawn? Apart from any film starring Robert Mitchum. Reflex, I suppose. Ah! There! You've done it! You just couldn't wait. You couldn't leave it alone. You've made it 10 times worse now. I knew that would happen. I wonder if you can get tetanus from a Barclay card. The things you cut yourself with these days never ceases to amaze me. What does lockjaw feel like? Probably feels like this. Feels sick now after that. Getting that colicky feeling back again. Abdominal disorders. Where are we? Oh God. Colon tumor. Often no symptoms in the early stages. That's exactly what I've got. Stop worrying about it. I wonder how this is doing. There's the first aid section. Oh God, I've done it again. Every time I open this medical book, I try not to see it, and it always falls open at the same page. Zip fastener injuries. Makes you weak just at the thought. Stop fretting about everything. Now, where's the Pepto-Bismol? Never quite sure whether to drink this stuff or clean the windows with it. Warning. This medication can lead to darkening of the stool. Certainly hope not. Is Ronnie Corbett dead? I suppose he must be. You don't hear much of him these days. That's the trouble with this satellite television. You don't know who's alive and who's dead anymore. I mean, David Blunkett might be hosting a game show on Sky Television 5 days a week, and you just don't know. Anyway, that feels better. Ah. Now, there's a job I could be doing. Cleaning these Venetian blinds. They're absolutely filthy, caked in dust. I've been putting that job off for months now. I'm absolutely bored out of my skull. And I'm sure this is getting stiffer by the minute. Probably be dead by 5:30. Man contracts horrific muscular disorder in order to avoid watching Neighbours. What in the name of bloody hell? I do not believe it! I'm just not believing it. I mean, this is about the end of all bloody time. I have never in all my natural born days. What was he thinking of? Hello? Yes, you can. I'd like to speak to the manager, please, and quick about it. Meldrew. No, he doesn't, but he will do bloody shortly. Hello, is that Mr. P.T. Sturgeon? It's about a large yucca plant that your nursery delivered to my house this morning. He's a young chap. Well, I didn't get his name. It could have been Frank Spencer. But I'll tell you exactly what the problem is, Mr. Sturgeon. I was out the back in the garden when he called, and I said to him, would he mind for the time being put it in the downstairs toilet? Do you know what he's done? He's only planted it in the pan. Yes, actually in the lavatory pan, compost and everything. I mean, how anyone could be so utterly goofy here boggles the mind. What's he got for a brain? A dried up walnut? What? A mistake anyone could have made. And a stark steady. What am I supposed to do? Cock my leg against the trunk? Like a Yorkshire Terrier? Sit in the top like a fairy on a Christmas tree? No, I do not. I'll do it myself, thank you very much. And in future, try and send someone round with a bit of common sense between their ears. Put it in the downstairs toilet. That's the level of education kids are leaving school with these days. Like that young lad the other night in the corner, trying to take a photograph of the moon with his flash gun. Oh, that's a good idea. Why don't we illuminate the planet Venus with a bicycle lamp while we're at it? I could have a go at the cryptic crossword. What did I do with that? Yes. Mad poet, mugged by banjo player, sees red when eating pickles. 3 and 4. Mad poet, mugged by banjo player, sees red when eating pickles. 2 down. No, 5 across. Bag eggnog, but get a tad bugged, question mark. 4 letters. Bag eggnog, but get a tad bugged. 2 down. Elk's ego gets my goat. Head of MI5 upset the French by reversing into Dad's underpants. It's a doddle. Elk's ego gets my goat. Well, I'm sorry. I can't seem to do the cryptic crossword again because I'm temporarily out of mind-bending drugs. I mean, who compiles these things? That's the big thing now, isn't it? Must get myself a camcorder so I can camcord everything. That was the limit when old Mr. Stebbings got one. Invited us round to watch a 3-hour tape of a parsnip growing. All things get completely out of hand. I suppose that's what you expect from a man who plays with a yo-yo inside his trousers. Slip on my black tight panties. Cane me hard in my stockings. Listen to a wife moan. Do that anytime. Hear my massive 40-inch breasts. Hear my massive 40-inch breasts. How? She got cowbells on. Rang one of these up once, but as sexy as Amy Turtle. The world we live in, I sometimes wonder if the apes were descended from us. Good God. A bored housewife killed her husband and kept him perfectly preserved in the chest freezer, a court in Runcorn heard yesterday morning. To convince the neighbours he was still alive, she would periodically defrost his body and prop it up in the back garden, wearing a pair of sunglasses. Police first became suspicious when they came round to interview the gentleman and found his right hand nailed to the bed table. That's my next hospital appointment. I've got a feeling it's next week. What's that diary? Yes, there'll be another bundle of chuckles. There'll be my private parts probed by a consultant that looks like Yasser Arafat. Still, I don't suppose she can help it.
I suppose she can help it.
Can't do anything about your looks. I suppose I'll be wanting another specimen. Doesn't matter what you have to go up there for, they always want you to bring a specimen. I don't know why. I same for everybody. Hello, I've come to deliver the milk. Have you brought a specimen? Yes, I've got 4 crates of it out here with 96 pints of urine. Is it fresh? Yes, fresh this morning. What do they do with it all? I suppose I've got some sort of deal with the people that manufacture coffee vending machines. I wouldn't be surprised anyway.
Oh, God.
Please, let that not be Mrs. Warboys. Telling me all about a holiday in Clock. A blow-by-blow account of every minute of every single day she was there. 4291. Mrs. Warboys. How was Cork? Yes. Oh, lovely. Look, I'd like to chat, but actually I'm on jury service at this very moment. Yes, for a week now. Well, actually, I haven't been called in yet, but you know what it's like. You have to be by the phone and just... Yes. Yes, you told me that in the postcard. Yes, you told me that as well. Yes. Yes. How long's that been on? Bloody pens. Yes. Lovely. Sounds great, Mrs. Warboys. Can't wait to see the slides. Yes, okay. Bye. Must be something productive I can be doing. That letter to Albert. Alfred. Sorry, Alfred. That's long overdue. Dear Alfred, thank you very much for the letter and nude photographs. I don't think you'll appreciate that. That is me at 6 months. And I don't look any different than I did. Might have put some clothes on me. Nice little body though. Dear Alfred, I'm sorry I haven't written sooner, but it is all go here. Can't think of anything else. Maybe I'll write to you in a bit more time. I could waste some time listening to that wrong answer, that wrong message in the answer machine, wrong number in the answer machine, even.
Hello, Mrs. Hinchley. You sound slightly different on the phone. This is Mr. Perron, your dentist. I'm afraid I've got the most dreadful confession to make, Mrs. Hinchley. There's nothing wrong with your teeth. There never has been. Yes, I know I've had you back for 13 fillings in the last fortnight. I just had to see you. I realise it was desperately unprofessional, but yesterday morning, after I numbed your right gum, I kissed you. You had your eyes closed at the time, and it was the sound of the suction pipe. Sorry for what I've done, Mrs. Hinchley. I can apologise for everything, especially the two extractions. I was considering having the premolar mounted in a locket, but I
Just go a plate of chips, 2 runny fried eggs, okay fruity sauce. No, you had that yesterday. And the day before. Soon begin to look like a chip. No, I'll have to have a healthier option today. Some of that low-fat cottage cheese with that nice baguette that I bought. What in the name of... I do not believe it! J.L. Dinkins, hair pieces of distinction. Well, that just about takes the biscuits. I mean, dropping your wig in the baking dough, he must have known it had come off, for God's sake. This is just about the limit of all bloody time. I mean, what am I going to find next? A glass eye staring at me out of the coconut meringue. I've lost the phone! Oh! Absolutely hideous! I'd be better wearing a little red in my head. How anyone could be so... Hello! I'd like to speak to the manager, please. Meldrew. No, he doesn't, but he will do bloody shortly. Hello! I have just opened a large baguette that I brought in your supermarket this morning. And you know what I found? Surely somebody's bloody toupee. I mean, what's going on in that establishment? Thank you. And at this stage, I must thank David Renwick for allowing us to use his script. This was an episode, I think it was a third series, that went out on the 28th of February, 1993, directed by Susan Belvin, and had an audience of 18.39 million. Of course, in the television version, he moved around the house. I'm just going to, Nick, can we just have a look at the yucca plant? we tried to get the yucca plant in, but the budget just wouldn't allow it. It was interesting that I said, is Ronnie Corbett dead? But in the actual script, it's Frank Buff. Who remembers Frank Buff? Yes. And it was the Stafford Cripps who was running the game show at Sky Television. So we changed that. I hope Ronnie doesn't mind. Or maybe he's here. It's interesting that actors are always asked about how do you learn your lines? And I always say, it's just hard work. It's just hard graft. But when I said I would do this benefit, I thought, well, I played Victor for 10 years. But when it came to it, of course, I didn't remember a word. So suddenly I had this script to learn, about 12 pages. And there was a stage when I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this, because as you get older, the old brain cells start to go. There was a stage I thought, I can't do it, I have to go on with the book, as they say. Anyway, we got through it today, but it was interesting. At the same time, I was trying to learn it, we only had 1 day's rehearsal yesterday, and we've been in the theatre today. So it was a bit hairy, as they say. But while I was doing A Midsummer Night's Dream for BBC Two, I was playing Robin Starveling, which is a very small part. I thought that would be easy. But I had this line, I believe we must leave the killing out. I believe we must leave the killing out when all is done. Could I learn that line? Here I had with 16 pages to learn, and that line, that may have been because my head was full of Victor Meldrew, but that was a really difficult line. And one of the difficult things to remember is non sequiturs. Like I kept forgetting the Pepto-Bismol line. And in fact, in the dress rehearsal this afternoon, I forgot it again. There's so many non sequiturs, like, is Ronnie Corbett dead suddenly? Where does that come from? Talking of the script, this is the actual script. This is the actual script that I used to learn tonight. And what I'm going to do is, when you go out in the interval, I want you to have a think about this script, and I will dedicate it and sign it and do whatever you want with it. And we want people to bid for it. This is honestly the actual one. You'll see sperm and things like that. So when you go out for the interval, have a drink first. Now, I'd like to say I'd like to buy you all a drink, but I'm not going to. Have a drink first, and then speak to one of the ushers on the way back in and say, I would like to bid 6,000, whatever you feel. And then I'll announce at the end who has bid the most. I hope someone bids. If not, I'm going to keep it. At the end of the show. So, let me just check my bullet points. Yeah. You'll notice that Daniel Evans didn't come on tonight. It's not because I didn't make any mistakes, it's because he fell asleep. I saw him nodding off. What's going to happen now is, I'm going off, you're going to see some clips that will end up with the signature tune of One Foot in the Grave, and you'll go to the bar and we'll reap the profits, and I'll see you back after the interval. Thank you very much. What do you know, what?
I suppose you're happy as a sad boy now, are you? What do you mean? Is there anybody else you'd like to pick a fight with on this stretch of the motorway? I think there's a little old lady over there in an invalid carriage. Why don't you go and kick our tires in?
Well, it wasn't my fault.
I suppose we've all got to sit in silence here like a mausoleum now, have we? Some music or something.
There's a bloke we can't stand any longer, always on the bleeding moan. Every time we mend his bloody Honda, he's crashing on the road. We fixed his car's ignition, checked his brakes and clutch, and then overhauled his whole transmission. He just brought it back again. Victor Meldrew. He can sing it up his heart. He can walk out to
Stick a piece of chewing gum in the record protector.
They hold a note quite well. Become mechanics.
Don't believe it! with my rubbish and nobody else's. What am I supposed to do with this? Melt it down like finger foil?
Did they say that this would happen? How did you get here? Did someone just dump this?
Well, unless a very large jackdaw was carrying it. I should think that's a fairly safe assumption. Never ceases to amaze me, the bloody minded sonnishness of something.
Look at this.
Kill the lot of you!
It's quite nice out here now. I've just been watching two frogs having sex.
I'm lucky enough to see a getting a tadpole into trouble. Friends drive me bananas.
Mine seems to have gone to sleep as well. I can hardly feel it.
And you go first, and
It's all right, don't panic. It's only a small bag of water. We'll soon get that off.